In today's news, one of the biggest tech companies in the world, being Apple, and also one of the most threatening growing alliances, being the Brics Nation Alliance, both have just made groundbreaking announcements recently, which together showcases the endgame plan for this new financial system and also the endgame, the inevitable price explosion coming to Ripple and Xrp. I first want to bring your attention to this post from ISO 20022. Brics calls for enhanced use of local currencies in trade between member countries. So, no more dollar, as we should already know. The foreign ministers reiterated the demand made at COP27 to guarantee that international financial institutions reform will prioritize expanding the scope of financing and facilitating easier access to resources. This, again, is further confirmation from the Brics Alliance at their decoupling from the US dollar, the American system, the decoupling and the endgame of the Western world system. In fact, I have this interview here from Andy Sechtman, the president of Miles Franklin, confirming this theory that we are Bretton Woods 3. Listen closely to what he has to say.
I think you could argue getting close to the end game in terms of this Western system. And I think Zoltan Pozsar said it best. And honestly, I truly do. You know, he said we are in Bretton Woods 3. Bretton Woods 1 was when we took over for the pound sterling. Bretton Woods 2, loosely when we became the petrodollar. Now, I'm not saying that this is true, by the way, but there are people out there like John Little, has a Substack called Pickaxe. He's done some amazing research on the military-industrial complex, but he's claiming that in just a couple of days here on the 9th, that the Saudis have already informed the West that they will no longer honor the 50-year agreement that was signed 50 years ago on the 9th by, the Saudis and, what was his name? Can't believe I'm not thinking of it right now. Kissinger. So, I don't know that to be true, but I'll simply tell you this, that, the crown prince of Saudi Arabia recently said China was our most important trading partner this year and for the next 50. Those words might have been chosen more carefully than we can all imagine. But, these are interesting times we live in, Kai, and I think will only get more interesting. That, by the way, is a Chinese curse. May you live in interesting times.
And I couldn't agree more. These are interesting times that will only continue to become more interesting as time goes on. And the Brics Alliance continue to make significant headway in the financial world to become a part of this foundation of this new monetary system. Here from Chad Steingraber, Saudi Arabia has just joined the BIS, the Bank of International Settlements, a massive deal, now seeing the Saudi Central Bank becoming a full participant of Project mBridge. Collaboration with China, Hong Kong, Thailand and the United Arab Emirates, the goal obviously of the dollarization in oil trade. This is huge news. We can see this post from the BIS back in 2022, October 26th, which states in Project mBridge, 20 banks in Hong Kong SAR, Thailand, China and the United Arab Emirates used the platform to conduct 164 payments and foreign exchange transactions totaling over $22 million, which is not a small deal. That is very big news, and this is 2022. Developments have only continued to accelerate within that year and a half, of course now with Saudi Arabia joining the ranks. Project mBridge has welcomed the Central Bank of the Saudi Arabia as its 5th member. mBridge is a project from the BIS and they already partnered with Ripple. Also, the Saudi Arabia US petrodollar agreement has just expired. This showcases plans within plans within plans. Ripple and XRP are connected and partnered with the BIS, with Saudi Arabia, with the United Arab Emirates, Russia, Brazil, China, India and the rest, and so on. They are connected to every country within the Brics Alliance. That's why XRP have been spotlighted to be a part and the foundation of this new Brics payment system that's going to replace and not utilize SWIFT or the dollar. And to take this video here from Glenn Hutchins, someone who has been on the board of NASDAQ and the Federal Reserve, someone who used to work for former President Bill Clinton, he confirms that the Ripple protocol has been the chosen one from the beginning. Listen closely.
If we'd been sitting here together in 2002, we probably were. You would have asked me, the internet, We've just seen this huge meltdown in the last 12 to 15 months. Are you still a believer? Right? Yep. And so the answer is yes. Now the digital currency solution is the most important technological advance I've seen since the internet. It has the capacity to do lots more, but it certainly has the capacity to enable us to move anything of value around the world at the speed of light at no cost. It has three components. It has a token of value, which is called the Bitcoin. It has a accounting mechanism, which is called the blockchain. But the most important piece, which is one that people aren't focusing on, is the protocol. The underlying protocol by which we agree to conduct these transactions. So you use a series of protocols every day, and you don't even think about it. You don't think about the internet protocol. You don't think about the simple mail technology protocol. You don't think about the file transfer protocol. You don't think about the high text translation protocol. I go through it, right? You just make use of the technology, and the protocols make it work. The people who really understand what's going on with digital currencies understand that putting these protocols in place, the blockchain protocol, the Ethereum protocol, the Ripple protocol, the Ripple protocol, the Ripple protocol, and then enabling those protocols to cause transactions to occur. And then those transactions can be defined very broadly as not just moving things of value, but anything that's got an information content, is extraordinarily transformative. The focus on the value of the token is distracting and uninformative.
Kevin Lee, CEO at GateHK, mentioned in his keynote speech, we are at the absolute early stage of the industry, and we are also all in this for the responsibilities and opportunities ahead. We are also now at the tipping point where the sudden surge of adoption and then soon surge of liquidity and price of the crypto market will take off. Assets like Xrp will be the ones leading this charge, especially now as Apple have unveiled their new tap to pay feature between iPhones. They have been able to achieve such a feat thanks to Ripple's technology. Apple's payment request API uses Ripple's Interledger Protocol integration for payments. Apple is one of the first tech giants to adopt Ripple technology, which is huge news. Ripple's Interledger Protocol solution for Apple Pay. This integration is major news for Ripple because if the new payment request API gains traction, XRP could become the first cryptocurrency in widespread use. Yes, Ripple helped edit the payment request API for Apple Pay through W3C, and this therefore is all confirmation that all the roads lead to one destination, with the Brics, with the new payment rails, the new financial system, with Apple, and with the reverting back to the gold standard. It all leads back to Ripple and XRP. This is inevitable, just like the reverting back of this current monetary system back to the gold standard. Even if it's only temporary or only for a moment, it's just because when people lose trust in money, which they're losing trust more and more every day, they go back to what they can trust, which is something physical, something like gold. As Jim Rickard states and explains in this interview, we're going back to a gold standard. Listen closely.
Probably have to go back to a gold standard because that's the one thing people do understand. It's the one thing they do trust. So there's not a central bank in the world that wants a gold standard, but they may have to go to a gold standard to restore confidence. So let's wait and see on that.
It's ultimately a game of confidence. Once the consumers lose confidence, once countries, banks lose confidence in the dollar. So that's ultimately the tipping point, right?
Correct. If I had to pick one word to describe risk in capital markets, I would say confidence. You know, people like to talk about Bitcoin. You know, is Bitcoin money? Well, it's a kind of money. I wouldn't argue with that. But at various times in history, feathers have been money, clamshells have been money, silver, gold, paper, Bitcoin, digital, crypto. They can be money if people have confidence. But the minute confidence is lost, they're not money anymore, and whatever you had in that is wiped out. So then the question is, well, why should I have confidence? That's a matter of trust. Do I trust the policymakers? Are they helping the economy, or are they trying to rip me off with inflation? Are they lying to me? Well, just look at any opinion poll. People don't have much trust in policymakers these days. So I would say that confidence is close to a tipping point. One of my concerns about policymakers, the Treasury, the Federal Reserve, the White House, and others, is that they don't understand this. What you and I are discussing right now, they take it for granted. They assume that the dollar is king and always will be king, and how could you possibly question the confidence of the dollar? Well, people are questioning it, and more will do so in the future, but it is one of these tipping point things where it's not like a long, slow, gradual decline. It can happen very quickly, and that's the point. Don't wait till this happens, because when it happens, it could happen very quickly, and B, you may find that the things you want to go into are not available at any price. But I'm not going to know what day it is, because it's going to be some unexpected event that maybe none of us see coming. I can just tell you it is coming. So first of all, position yourself now.
The endgame vision for the Brics, for the global leaders of the world, everything leads back to Ripple. Soon, XRP's true value will be unlocked, and it is going to be worth in the thousands. So don't look short term, think long term. And I'll see you in the next one.